Thanks, Liz. Okay, wonderful. Moving right along, I'd like to invite Matineh up on the stage. Please welcome Matineh.
Hi, everyone. So after that, can I have the slide to different? So after that presentation, my industry that I'm going to talk about and the problems that we are solving is pretty male-dominated, unfortunately. So I'm Matineh, CEO and co-founder of WealthLearn. WealthLearn is an artificial intelligence company for electricity grid, specifically for grid batteries. I have spent the past 10 years of my academic and professional career in using machine learning and artificial intelligence, solving energy-related problems, because that is one of the issues that I'm really passionate about, and I think that's one of the main problems of our planet. So before WealthLearn, I was the director of data science and energy management, a startup backed by GE Quantera. And before that, I was doing my PhD at Carnegie Mellon University, where I used machine learning techniques and artificial intelligence for proactive diagnosis of energy systems. So let me go through our page. I'm going to start with a very simple fact that most of us probably know but don't pay attention to on a daily basis. The fact that without the ability to store large amounts of electricity and energy supply has to be exactly equal to energy demand at any given time. This is not a simple problem to solve. This is not a simple and easy balance to keep in our complicated electricity grid. And by adding these more and more renewable energy every day that are intermittent, because we cannot schedule the wind or we cannot schedule clouds passing the sun, this is becoming even more difficult challenge and more difficult balance to keep. Therefore, energy storage technologies like batteries are a must. There is no other way. Because of that, energy storage market is exploding. It is projected that the battery market is going to grow 30x in only 4 years, and US and Asia and then Europe are going to lead the ground in that. But batteries have their own challenges. They are great, they are the most flexible energy technologies we have, but they have one challenge that until we solve it, we cannot have widespread deployment of batteries. And that is the fact that it is still quite difficult to build economical battery projects. And that is mainly due to the balance that we have to make between 3 pillars of battery economics. The cost of these battery technologies, how much we pay to buy them, install them, and later renew them, the overall value that we generate from these batteries, and the effective lifetime of these battery projects. It is very difficult. These are competing objectives, and it's difficult to find a balance between them. Industry so far has mainly focused on one of these factors at a time, and mostly on cost reduction. We have tried to reduce the cost of hardware as much as we could, but there is only so much we can reduce the cost of hardware. That the industry is no longer about hardware cost reduction. WealthLearn is the first company that uses artificial intelligence to address this specific economical challenge. And our case studies in different applications across the grid shows that we can increase the revenue generated from these battery projects 50 to 150%, and the lifetime of them 30 to 70%. I'm going to show you one of these examples. We think that battery industry is not a software industry. We are taking these batteries that are becoming essential parts of our electricity grid and turn them into autonomous robots that can act as smart participants of the electricity grid. Not just pieces of equipment that we just take and integrate and have to be cheap. They have to think, and they have to be able to think very smartly because our electricity grid is very complicated. In order to make batteries smart, like any smart being, we add 3 features to these batteries. First, we give batteries foresight about all these factors factors that they need to know ahead of time in order to make optimal decisions. This is a multidisciplinary problem. It is not only about a particular aspect. And batteries usually cooperate with an ecosystem of different energy systems, different markets, even human behavior. So this is a multidisciplinary problem that we are addressing with our proprietary machine learning and AI platform. And then we add optimization and decision-making ability to these batteries. Okay, let me show you a real example. This is a real battery sitting in Southern California. The owner-operator of this battery is operating the battery in providing particular grid services to make some money out of this battery. But they were not happy with the financials that they were getting, so they wanted to see, are they leaving any opportunities on the table? So the red line on the top shows the revenue that this battery was making in 2017 using existing software solutions for operating batteries. The blue line shows how much this battery could have made using Butner's AI technology. But making more money out of your battery does not mean cycling it more. As you can see on the bottom, we cycle the battery around 65% less. How that is possible? That is possible because our batteries are smart, because they only cycle when the expected generated revenue is greater than the degradation cost that we put in our battery because of that cycle. We don't cycle the battery just because. This is what a smart battery looks like. So in just about 1 year that we kicked off the company, we have come a long way, and I'm very proud of it. We launched our first product in 3 markets in North America, US and Canada. We already from day one have paying customers for it, and we have, as we speak, they're receiving our services through our user interface. As I mentioned, a little bit of overview of our timeline. We have come a long way since we kicked off the company, and right now we have received a large volume of traction from global corporates for pilots and product developments across the world. And because of that, we in fact pushed part of our seed round that we were going to raise earlier, because we need some bandwidth to be able to serve those demands and tractions that we are getting. So we opened the seed round, this part of the seed round, around 2-3 weeks ago, and we already have an investor that is willing to lead. Looking forward to investors at this moment, and I'm in active fundraising. So this is where I will end my pitch for the company. A few words on my experience and view on my experience on fundraising. As you can see from our timeline, I have been involved in fundraising in different scales from the beginning. One of the things I want to emphasize here is the importance of supporting women in male-dominated industries, women founders in male-dominated industries and high-tech industries. Coming from one of those industries, energy, which has been dominated by men for, God knows, over a century, I can tell you, these women have gone through so much barriers and overcome so many odds just to survive in those industries. Forget about thriving. So I always say there is never an too early stage woman-founded company in these areas, because even when the women launch their company, they have already accomplished so much. They have already came across so many obstacles. A lot of them are invisible. We may not be aware of a lot of those obstacles, but they overcome those. And so I just, based on, I know that as a community we have talked about, let's support women, and there are angel groups, VCs that are meant to actually invest on women-founded companies. But based on my observation, even those companies, even those investors, just feel more comfortable to invest on areas that generally is perceived that women are more successful in those areas, like fashion industry or food industry. Kudos to women who are successful in those areas, and kudos to investors that support them. But we should not, we have a long way to go in supporting women in male-dominated industries. If a woman in those industries comes up and says, you know what, I see a problem in this industry, I am the right person to solve it, and I am going to do that, and she actually takes action and comes in front of you and pitches her company to you, she has already came a long way away from her comfort zone. So maybe you want to feel a little bit uncomfortable investing in, when you see just a woman founding companies in these areas, but never forget that they really came out of their comfort zone to be able to be in front of you. They are warriors, and if I had money, I would invest in warriors. Thank you.